Good morning. Welcome to Rozara's Investments. My name is Ara. Thanks for watching and listening. This part 4 of 4 of the video series is saving up your first $10,000. Let's say you don't have a savings account. Let's say you don't have an investment account yet. You can open an account at Robinhood. You can open an account at Fidelity. So part 1 was getting from $250,000 to $1 million. Part 2 is getting from $75,000 net worth to $250,000. Part 3 is when you're very aggressively saving and investing, going from $10,000 to $75,000. So part 4 is getting that first $10,000. So at this point, it doesn't really matter if you start investing. Maybe buy a couple shares of whatever just to get your feet wet. But at this point, you got to be committed to actually saving up money. When you get your check, save up a couple $100s and be consistent, be disciplined. Don't buy this or don't buy that. Just take your check, get a couple $100s, put it into an investment account. Put it into a savings account with plans next week to put it into an investment account. I do not think it should take you forever to get your first $10,000. Even if you don't like investing, you should have $10,000 anyway, because life happens. You got to pay rent, you got to fix your car, you got to do this, you got to buy clothes, you got to pay off credit cards, you got to do all these things. So take this time. It depends on how heavily in debt you are, how long this step should take you. If you are in debt, this is going to take you a little longer because you don't want to be paying high interest credit cards, you don't want to be paying high interest student loans. But aside from everything else in your life, you should have $10,000 in your savings account, and that's going to give you a very good foundation for starting your investing life. You can start investing by, with just $100, buy one share of Disney, buy one share of Facebook, whatever. They're a little over $100. But just get started and give yourself a goal of like 1 or 2 years to get that initial $10,000 saved up. By the time you do have $10,000, you should have most of your money in S&P index funds, in mutual funds basically, and you should get started on actually growing your money instead of just saving it all in a savings account. So I'd say give yourself a year or two. So in part 1, going from $250,000 to $1 million, I gave you a 10-year time frame. In part 2, I gave you from $75,000 to $250,000. I gave you about a 7-year time frame, so that's 17 years. In part 3, going from $10,000 to $75,000, I gave you 5 years or less to get to that $75,000. So that's 22 years so far. And this first video, going from nothing or wherever you are to having your first $10,000, I'm giving you about a year, maybe 2 years if it's a stretch. So that's about 23 years or so, about 23 years. I was actually watching a lot of Michael Jordan videos, so I like that this came out to 23 years. That wasn't the plan. But yeah, about 23 years. I think being, for anyone that isn't like super heavily in debt, I think being 23 years away from a millionaire is a very, very realistic goal. Remember, you can do other stuff in life. You can start businesses. You can do anything else you want in life. But aside from the other things you do in life, I think you should be able to become a millionaire in 23 years. So if you're 21 years old right now, I think it's very realistic to become a millionaire by the age 44. If you're 30 years old, I think it's very realistic to become a millionaire by age 53. Now, we all know a lot of 44-year-olds and 53-year-olds that are not millionaires. So, basically, don't think like, oh, this is going to be so long, this is going to be so far away. Like, no, when you're 44 and you're not a millionaire, you're going to wish that you did these things in your 20s and 30s and became a millionaire, took the steps to become a millionaire. Same thing, when you're in your mid-50s and you're not a millionaire, you're going to look back and wish you took the steps to become a millionaire. I've never been a millionaire before. I'm on my way. But I imagine that it's better being a millionaire than not being a millionaire. I've made some mistakes. I'm trying to teach you guys from my own mistakes. Basically, don't do stupid things. Don't lose lots of money along the way. And stay invested. Buy stuff and stay invested. That basically summarizes my 2 biggest mistakes. But yeah, you can do it. You can become a millionaire. It's not a far off goal. When you're 44 years old, if you're 21 years old right now and you're 44 years old, you're not going to feel like an old person. You're going to feel like a sense of achievement when you become a millionaire. I've definitely felt a sense of achievement as I've hit certain milestones. And it's a good feeling to know that, if you want to buy a car, you don't have to pay any interest. I get people saying like, oh, 6% interest, that's such a high rate. Well, if you save up enough money, you don't have to pay any interest. You can just write a check, pay cash. I have lots of people that do that. So, you can buy whatever kind of car you want. You can buy whatever kind of clothes you want. You can buy whatever kind of anything you want. You can just pay off your credit cards in full every month. You don't have to worry about those little day-to-day things. So, get motivated to start saving, save up that first $10,000, get yourself out of debt, get started on the path to like freedom, like financial freedom. And yeah, I think summarizing these videos, I think it's very, very realistic to be 23 years away from becoming a millionaire. Plenty of people become a millionaire within 10 years or 20 years. So giving yourself 23 years, aside from everything else you do in life, 23 years to become a millionaire, I think that's very, very realistic. If you're in your early 20s, you become a millionaire in your 40s. And then you can move on from there. You can become a 10 millionaire in your late 50s if you want. You can set your own goals after that point. But I think it's very realistic. I hope I motivated some people, and I hope I showed some people by breaking this down in chunks, like, kind of showing you different steps depending on what portion of your life that you're in. That it's not like you're starting from zero and going to a million. No, you're setting your goals along the way. You're setting realistic but aggressive goals along the way, not giving yourself an unlimited amount of time to hit those goals. And you can do it. Get to $10,000, get to $75,000, get to $250,000, then get to $1 million. After that, set your own goals. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please give me a thumbs up and share on Facebook. Thanks, guys. Bye.